Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly watch list where we go over all of our levels, setups, what we're looking at for market sentiment for the week, as well as how we're looking to take it and approach into every given setup, along with Monday morning as well. Starting off as usual with the news this week. We do have some good bit of news, nothing crazy, but starting off Monday morning 9:45, we have Flash Manufacturing PMI, Flash Services PMI. Other two really not relevant for morning scalping. Tuesday 8:40 a.m. we got FOMC member Cougar speaks. 9 a.m. we have S&P Composite 20 HPI and then HPI MM. Big one here 9:05 a.m. All right, this is coming right before open here. All right, so this is literally 25 minutes before open. This could make stuff move, especially since it's an FOMC member speaking. We could get some chop right off open and a lack of follow through. So Tuesday we probably, if we have any near or off open setups, depending on the weakness or strength of it, even that, this is something to potentially scale down for on this given day. 10 a.m. CB Consumer Confidence, New Home Sales, Richmond Manufacturing Index. Wednesday we have at 8:30 Core Durable Goods Orders MM. Durable Goods Orders MM. 10 a.m. we have FMC member Kashari speaks. 10:30 we got crude oil inventories. And then going into Thursday, we got China at 8:30 a.m. We have final GDP unemployment claims, final GDP price index, good trades balance, prelim wholesale inventories. 10 a.m. we have pending home sales, and then 10:30 a.m. we have natural gas shortage. Going into Friday, 8:30 a.m. we have core PC price index, personal income spending. 10 a.m. revised UO and consumer sentiment, UO and inflation expectations, and then we do have FOMC members speaking later in that day too. So we got a lot of FOMC announcements this week. This is definitely more so an FOMC week, but we're just gonna have to play the price action as it comes. And just be aware of the potential for a pretty choppy week, just like we've been getting right as of lately. As you can see here, have up ESQQQ. You can see here for the last several weeks now, really just haven't left this chop zone. We're just kind of chopping a bunch. We haven't left accumulation. Consolidation's just been present all day, every day. It seems like. Definitely been a challenging last few weeks to have clean price action. However, we've been making it work, right? We've been definitely looking at setups that are pretty clean, taking them smart, managing risk properly as a result directly, accordingly. So everything here, definitely there's opportunities. We just have to play it smart. Okay, so QQQ, looking at for the upside strictly bias wise, 482.60 cents. Then 484.93, 45.51, 46.20, and then 47.74. Going into futures here, looking at a similar bias to this, but I also will cover downside too, just in case. We really don't have almost any downside levels. It's really just going to be 56.51 and then 56.48 for me personally. For those pivot rejection points there, as you can see, also support, or resistance, support. Up here on the upside, however, we do have 57.20. We broke, failed closure. 57.44, 57.68.25, 57.79, 57.91. Okay, pretty basic, just levels of support resistance here, nothing crazy. Starting off with the watch list this week. I'm not a huge fan of a huge amount of things, but that's also a good thing because it gives us more selectivity in our trades we decide to take. So personally, I do like Tesla here, 251.58 possibly for that that pre-market high last I believe it was last Friday. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, last Friday's pre-market high coming up in that approach 252.60 would be a nice trade, a little scalp into the 252 level. Taking 255 as a separate trade more than likely, that being the second trade I have for Tesla. I don't have any downside at the moment at all currently whatsoever. So that's going to be Tesla. 255 break would be 256 target likely as well, I might add. I do also have NVIDIA here as well. This is going to be an interesting one to watch because I just don't really have a decisive bias yet. I just don't know what's really going to happen. It's not giving me enough confirmation either direction. However, I do not like the range here where we're in, so I'm personally only going to be looking to take the 125 level likely at 123.70. And then I don't like 120 because of the congestion we're in here. This range is just consolidating. The likelihood of rejection, like lack of follow through and stopping out, is probable. So I'm not looking at anything other than 123.70 upside. Until then, we're there. I'm not touching it. 114 downside here personally with the lows here. I believe it was this last. This week's Tuesday's low. I'll be looking to consider entry. However, I may only be looking to take entry around the 20 cent, 30 cent area on this given stock. So that's Nvidia. Netflix I have, this is more of a side watch, but it's still a pretty great setup, so I'm going to put it on the main for this week. 970, beautiful double top structure here, approaching up nicely here. I really like it, the kind of structure we've got approached into this. So personally looking at 970 strictly as a scalp. Entry is probably going to be around the 967, 63, probably 968 level with the right momentum. Cash this straight through the level at 970 and just make it a quick scalp. Beautiful pride, 20% trade even on a Monday. Great trade. Looking at Meta. Meta is in an odd area especially because of Thursday's price action, just that pretty insane rally we had, and then the complete engulfment of it. So personally, I really only like this at like 610. Upside wise, I don't know if I could take this at 600. That's just, I'm not sure. Gonna have to wait and see. Just really not sure with the strength. It's just that range though. Again, I'm not a fan of playing in ranges, so ranges are just a great way to lose your profitability real quick. You're better off just staying cash, guys. You really are. So you're really gonna stay. I would say cash is still green in my book because cash is, you just kept the money, you preserved the liquidity that you would have lost on a poor setup. So capital preservation is the name of the game. So if we can just say, 600 here is in this congestion range, let's skip it, right? Because it's just in a poor range here. So going back to the levels here, 610 going to be probably the primary level with a 613 target. And then I have downside 675 personally on this given setup, 675 at the double bottom here. Beautiful little double bottom structure. I don't like it before then. 677, 680, whatever. Nope. Just like this at 675. Okay. My last and final setup for the week here is going to be at the Apple double top structure here I have. I like this here at the 218.75 level into 220. If this does break pre-market, this is going to confirm the bias of upside very well. As long as we have some market backing a little bit, as long as this is divergently strong to the market and the market isn't dumping off open or near open, this setup will likely occur off Monday morning here. And this would be a great setup to look at to take off Monday morning. So I really like 220 here, even if we're before the 218.75 double top break. I look to probably take this around 219 and before 219. So overall, guys, pretty quick, pretty easy list this week. Nothing crazy to go in depth on. As always, let's just stay strict, stay disciplined, size accordingly, play it smart. We do have a lot of announcements from our Fomc, so let's just be aware of that and come into this week knowing that. We just need to be very wise about it, okay, and correctly manage our risk, manage our size, hold the stops. Do not stop out heavy. Do not cut your profits early, and just make sure you hold the targets. The basic stuff we all always know. We just need to do. All right. Let's kill it this week, guys. Let's watch everything. Do what we already said, and be some serious day traders this week. Take it easy, guys. Peace.